The Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Oakland Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Number 12 in green and gold coming out to lead the Packers. Of course, that's Aaron Rodgers. Last year for Rodgers, despite the young receiving corps, despite the nagging injuries, despite the removal of his head coach, better than 4,400 passing yards, the second highest total in his 14 NFL seasons.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the pass complete to Ryan Graham. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a 1st down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's got this down to the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The 3rd year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. Tyre Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. The former first-round pick Shane Ray in on the tackle. Well, look now at our starting defense. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Now Rodgers. And Adams has it. Good play. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Derek Carr is set and ready to roll as he leads the Raiders out onto the field. Carr in his 6th season, 28 years of age, former 2nd-round pick back in 2014, and a lot of people feel this is a critical season for Derek Carr as a Raider. Remember, there were whispers that the Raiders might be in the market for a QB in the draft. He even contemplated maybe making a run at Kyler Murray, but in the end, they stood pat with Derek Carr, hoping that he's the long-term answer. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. A look now at the Oakland offense.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys open before I throw it.
I might curl up in the fetal position.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't think he's going to do that. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside. Trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate?
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. It might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. The tackle made by Benson Mayowa. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Maurice Hurst busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Jones works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
Rodgers going to throw. He's got Adams on the hook up. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Caught by Jones. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play. One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either Called pressure, or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a carry for Jacobs. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season. We'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He's got his man. It's Williams. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Carr. Over the middle, complete. That's Bird. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
The out route's such a timing route that sometimes the guy throwing the ball just throws it almost blindly, just kind of counts on that timing winning. And in this case, the ball was batted away.
Got a man. It's complete. Williams. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the 1st down.
Why are those so tough to defend? And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jalen Richard, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers, and he finds his tight end Graham. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From midfield, here's Rodgers. pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on third and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Graham's got it, complete. And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started out in Denver, where it was the visiting Chiefs who come in and get the victory on the road. Patrick Mahomes leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, we'll head east to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. DJ Chark, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Tyrell Williams heading back out on the field now. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out because...
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To throw, it's Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there and a first down.
The coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
Green 18. Right here. Slam.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll go down at the 28. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
58.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers, pass incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Shane Ray in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Carr now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Carr now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. On the draw, Richard. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he stopped immediately there. Jair Alexander up to make the tackle. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Dean Lowry in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs, None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to float this one. He's got him in. Complete. The 20. 10. Touchdown. Packers. Davante Adams. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now Crosby for the point after. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll get this up to about the 40. B.J. Goodson there on the tackle.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a 1st down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to...
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one. You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
Out comes Davante Adams in the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They run with a fullback now. This is Dan Vitale. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9. In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the 1st down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
That's pulled in at the 32. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. On 1st down, Richard. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive, and that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyrell Williams hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. He got in there quickly with very little resistance.
I would have thought about checking out of that play because when you looked across the line of scrimmage, where were the gaps? That whole offensive line was just crowded by defensive players. I think what he was thinking, if he could just get a crease, there'd be a lot of room to run. That obviously was not the case.
They run it again with Williams. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Seemed like they picked an excellent time to blitz there. Well executed.
It certainly was. And I remember what he told you before the game. He said, if my blockers just get me to the second level, I can do some damage. Instead, on that play, he got leveled.
Let's go, team.
On the delay, Jones. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
Rodgers now to throw. And Adams has it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, here's Jones. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
So Carr and the Raiders now down 20-17. 1:47 on the clock. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow, wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the focus shifts back to the Packers offense. Trailing by 4. A little over 40 seconds to go. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time, because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Maurice Hurst. And the Raiders are going to win the football game. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to